Hello, welcome everybody to another broadcast of Vietnam Talk Radio tonight. I'm your host, Tan, the Man Win. And again, I would like to welcome everybody to Vietnam Talk Radio tonight. Real quick, if you guys can just please take a moment to share this broadcast so we can double the amount of viewers that we have.
This is Hoa, it's known as Jade. You are listening to Vietnam Talk Radio live stream. You can watch the replay of all the previous episodes from nailtalkradio.com under Nail Talk Radio live stream tab.
All right, so while we're waiting to inform our viewers of our goals here at Real Net Talk Radio, just want to touch base with everybody. We are a sister company of Nail Talk Radio, and our mission here is to bridge the gap between the industry and create diversity. Our goal at Vietnam Tech Radio is also to bring a new education that's out there for our viewers and that's in your area. We also want to share new techniques, and most important of all, we promote health and sanitation and also rules and regulations. So anyway, Jade, how have you been? I know you're moving soon, so if you don't, share that a little bit with us. If you do, that's great.
No, I'm still here. The same background you see. You see that? I'm still in Minnesota for another 2 weeks. God.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yes.
Oh, Cali, huh? Cali, not too bad.
Well, let's see how it is.
What part of California?
It's gonna be in Orange County. I mean, why you ask me that? You try to stalk me? No, I'm gonna tell you.
You never know. You never know. Somebody's always watching you.
Oh well, when you get there, just hit me up. Hey Ten. So since we have ADELE PHAM as a special guest tonight, I just want to ask about you. How and why did your family come to the U.S.? Is there any of your family's member beside you a nail artist?
My family, how did we come to the U.S.? My dad was an army veteran in Vietnam, and so when the fall of Saigon, I guess, and in the 70s, we ended up, my parent family left Vietnam because, to avoid communism. And then, if I can recall, we ended up in Ohio. And then from Ohio, my dad continued his friendship, or he had friends in California. And then we went to move to California, San Diego. And then after San Diego, we moved to Texas. And then I've been living in Texas since. As far as anybody in the industry in my family that does nails, I'm the only one who does nails in my family. My brother is an accountant. He's a CPA for Shell. My sister, she owns Brilliant Art Films in Houston. She's a producer and a director. That's it about me. And what about you? How did you get into the U.S. and how did you end up in the U.S. and how your family ended up here as well?
My grandma used to work for the U.S. government. She came here because her former boss sponsored her to come to U.S. She just came straight to Minnesota, and that's how, a few years after, that's how I ended up in Minnesota as well. I was wondering and asking my grandma before, why not other states? Why Minnesota? And I've been, stuck here since then, and I'm glad that finally have a chance to move to a different state and do something else. God,
Minnesota's freezing, man. So anyway,
it's crazy over here. Mm-hmm.
But hey, again, guys, if you're tuning in, I want to ask everyone to please share our broadcast tonight. I want to welcome everybody again. I'm Tan the Man Win, along with my host here, Jade, Thoa, Tang, and we have a very special guest tonight. Thoa, please introduce our guest and let them know, tease them a little bit who our guest is tonight.
Please don't leave the screen because in a few minutes here, we will be interviewing ADELE and her nail did doc.
Nailed it, Doc. Adele. That's right. Adele will be a documentary guest for tonight's show. And that's a story that she will share a story about how we can learn about the Vietnam industry. But let's talk first and foremost, let's talk about what's happening on social media. And also this week, Monday, August 15th, I believe it's Monday the 15th. It's also, I want to big shout out to Joseph Pham. It was his birthday, so happy brother, bro, as well as Ali Baker, 2015 Nail Pro Cup champion. So happy birthday, Ali. Happy birthday, Joseph.
You make some noise.
How about, and also very special this weekend is also our birthday girl and our host Jade Huatang's her birthday. So guys, I want to see some hearts and some likes as well on your mobile device for Jade. Happy birthday, Jade. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, sister, as well. All right, so trending news in the nail industry. Trending news. What's going on? What's going on right now, folks? Okay, and what's going on is NTR is at sea. NTR cruise. Nail those profits that we would get on the cruise. And you're going to find out from the best in the industry how to do new techniques and unique ways to build your business. And best of all, how to make more money. We have all-star cast. We have Tracy Duncan, Amy McClure, the Profile Sisters, Athena Elliott, my man Braden at Nail Talk Radio, Tammy Smith, Elaine Watson with her Take Two, Gwen Dedman Littlefield, educator for Crystal Nails, Amy Baker, one of the best in the industry, as Masterworks, Holly Shippers, of course, from CND, and Naja Front, of course, Magnetic Nail. So please go to our website, www.ntratsea.com, for more details. Cabins are filling up quick, folks, so make sure you get in where you fit in.
Talk about Amy Baker. I am taking her gel class in Houston next week from the 21st to the 22nd to the 26th. So I'm very excited. I've been working with gel for a long time, but never too late to learn more stuff, new stuff.
Wow,
and this is a great news for any nail techs out there that wanted to get into UV LED gel. You can actually sign up for gel classes. Either you want to learn about sculpting gel or gel art, you can always go to the website mylably.com, mylably.com/classes. They are online classes which you can take it at your own time and at an affordable price. How awesome is that?
Very nice. I think I would have to take some classes as well. I think I'm getting more into the gel game. I've always been an LMP guy. But, hey, LMP will make its comeback. But it's always good to have continuing education, learn new things, just like Anh Hảo. Remember Anh Hảo Tông?
Yeah.
So Anh Hảo Tông, I have been following him and watching him progress on his work, and his work has gotten really well. So congratulations, Anh Hảo. If you're watching, I can see the progression in you, and you've done really well. So great shout out to Anh Hảo for taking time out and doing his continuing education. Upcoming nail events, folks. Upcoming nail events. Here is Nail Pro Sacramento. 24 days out. It's Northern California's largest nails only trade show, happening September 11th, 2016. Opening Sunday from 9 to 4:30 p.m. Make sure you go to nailprosacramento.com. Unfortunately, I won't be there, but your girl Jade will be there. So represent for Nail Talk Radio while you're there, Jade.
Yes, for sure. And there are the 10 best nail colors and shape for fall for your salons and clients. You can visit the website. We will drop this website in the comment box for you. Check it out, and you're welcome.
10 new shades for which color is that collection there? 10 new shades. Best color
nude,
shades. That's
they have nude, a very nice one. I would say kind of like mint, but mint, like fall colors,
So it's
You
the
gotta
hottest
check it
color
out.
right now. Okay.
Yes, that's a trend
So that
from.
website.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, also real quick, holographic. I touched base with about holographic pigments last week and how it's the latest trend, and I saw a little bit, talked about a little bit of how techniques. Jade shared her techniques as well, and I shared mine. But come on, let's just think for 1 second. If any of you guys out there have watched Athena Elliott and followed her, she posted something on Facebook that kind of blew my mind, and I'm pretty sure blew many of our fellow nail professionals' minds as well. Is that she had purchased some hollow pigments at a price of $46 and some change a gram.
Mhm.
Come on, $46 for a gram.
You
24
can buy
karat
gold.
gold.
Yeah.
24 karat gold is only $43 a gram. Okay.
I know. This is
Come on,
crazy.
hologram. This is like way out of our league here. So what I'm gonna suggest is we get some gold. We might as well just go buy a gram of gold, shave it down, and then now we can upcharge 3 times. So that's we're actually getting real gold.
I agree
Hey,
with that. Yes.
food
There
for
you
thought,
go.
folks. Food for thoughts. As a matter of fact, drop your comments below. I'll make sure I take a look at them and I'll answer them. But come on, $46. Who's gonna dish out? I'd rather buy gold, in my opinion.
Right.
Moving along, Jade.
Yeah, a few popular and active social media pages for the nail community, especially it helps so much for the Viet nail community as well. You can always follow nailsjobs.insta on Instagram. nailsjobs.insta. The Facebook page, nailsjobs.com. You can look it up, type it up, straight up, the name. Nailsjobs continuing education page on Facebook as well, and their website, nailsjobs.com. It's actually pretty cool. You can go on there, post your job, looking for nail technicians or sell your salons, and you can sign up for classes. Then, like, pretty much a lot of news out there, like crazy news. Like, you can watch, look at the fighting news, like at the salon, in the salons. Like, it's pretty cool. I just checked it out yesterday, and it's so crazy. And I love the website, so yeah, I just want to share with everyone. And I tell you, you should check it out. Check the website out. So maybe it helps us to have some topic to talk about in the future.
Fighting in the nail salon, okay? That's a lot of drama.
Just example, okay?
Drama. Hey, drama is great, but drama is not for tan. To those of you guys who love drama.
You bring the story up not for you to, like make fun of them or criticize, just a lesson for us. Like, for example, later on we can have a guest to come in and tell us the advices how to deal with situation like that. So I think that would be a good idea,
Oh, definitely. I totally agree with you. I've touched base with that many times about how to keep it pro while you're in the salon, and we just got to be able to share with our community on how to handle certain situations and
Right.
being able to share that knowledge. And so, yeah, definitely we need to touch base with that on the drama that's happening on Facebook within the salon. So that would maybe that would be our next topic. Guys, if you guys are listening, drop a comment down there and let me know how you guys feel about us touching base about drama that happens within the nail salon in our community. But first, before we touch base back to our special guest tonight, let's take a break so we can have some bills paid, because Tan and Twa, we still need our job. So we'll see you guys in a little bit as soon as a word from our sponsors.
Splitting, thin, damaged nails. As much as we try to keep our clients' nails looking gorgeous, sometimes they just need more. Before, we never had a way to fix things, but now there's IBX by Famous Names. IBX forms an interpenetrating polymer network inside the nail where treatment doesn't just sit on top. IBX creates strength from within, helping to repair splits and toughen weak nails. Give your clients stronger, smoother, and healthier nails. For more information, visit www.ibxnails.com. Dry Quick Dry Nail Polish System takes only 5 minutes to dry rock hard, is vegan, hypoallergenic, non-yellowing, and strengthens natural nails. No UV LED lamp needed, and most experience 14 days of wear. It's the groundbreaking new gel alternative. See the stunning seasonal collections. Focus your eye on Dazzle Dry. Wet to wow in 5 minutes. Try it now at dazzledry.com.
All right, thank you everyone. Real quick, I want to touch base with about AMP. Any of you guys out there, if you have liability insurance, if you don't, AMP gives you a free website and all to promote your business and or to promote yourself. The membership total is only $199, one payment, and the coverage is up to $6 million a year in coverage that follows you everywhere you go, but it's within your scope of practice. It's very important that we touch base on when we practice. It has to be in our scope of practice. So for more details, you guys go to AMP's website, and that link will be dropped down in the comments as well. Tonight's guest is ADELE PHAM. Okay, guys, she is a director and editor, and ADELE is a mixed race Vietnamese American. She's a documentary filmmaker, experienced in all aspects of documentary production, including editing, cinematography. She does the direction. She directed the documentary called Parallel ADELE, where both of the producers in there were named ADELE. It's a documentary she directed by herself, being a mixed Asian American in the I would say in the industry, I guess. Also, it was screened at the Smithsonian, and it was also aired on PBS. ADELE's work has been screened on HBO's and various film festivals, but it wasn't until 4 years ago. Now ADELE has launched her directorial debut, producing #NailedIt, a Vietnamese and the Vietnamese and the nail community.
Now let's welcome ADELE PHAM to Vietnam Talk Radio and learn more about her Nailed It doc. Let's take a couple minutes and listen to this sound clip.
I go with my sister. We go to places called Beautiful Nail. It's kind of confused when I first read the sign, though. Beautiful Nail. Just one. Nail is beautiful.
Ever noticed the Vietnamese nail salon? In every city, state, strip mall, uptown, downtown, even Walmart, they sort of just blend into the background there.
If you're a Vietnamese American, within 2 degrees of separation, you have somebody working in the nail industry. If not 1 degree, your auntie, your uncle, your relative, your cousin, I don't care who it is.
The nail industry is a $7.5 billion industry that focuses just on nails. Roughly half of them are Vietnamese owned.
How do I know they're all...
All right, what a great clip. Let's bring on ADELE. ADELE, thank you so much for joining us. If you're there, ADELE, can you hear you? There you go. Hey, ADELE, how's it going? Can you hear me?
You gotta turn the mic on. Yeah.
My mic's off.
All right, yeah.
Hey ADELE.
You hear me now? Hi.
How are you?
Hey, ADELE.
It's hot in New York, but I'm okay. It's hot.
Thank you for taking time
Always
out.
hot.
It's hot. It's hot in Texas, girlfriend.
Right? How hot is it in Texas?
It's like in the 90s, I think.
Oh,
Humid,
shit. Yeah,
hot.
yeah. It's a nightmare
Thank you.
now.
Thank you for carving time out tonight and joining us here in Vietnam Talk Radio. So the weather is hot in there. How have you been? How are you feeling? How you doing?
I'm doing good. And I really enjoyed listening to your stories about how your families got to the U.S. That we have something in common, because that's how my dad, who's Vietnamese, got to the U.S. too, because of his ties to the American South Vietnamese military, right, in 1976. And I was actually in Minnesota last month, and I screened the short version of Nailed It for a group of Vietnamese adoptees. kids.
Oh,
Right.
I see.
Yeah, that's why I was there.
About it.
Well, I know, because I actually did say something to Athena, because I was going to try to hit you up, Jade, while I was out there, but it ended up being a really quick trip. But it sounds like you're moving now.
Yes, moving soon by the end of this month. Okay,
Yeah.
before we go further into the questions, I just want you to take a few minutes to finish the sound clip. Okay, there you go.
My dad wanted me to go learn nails the summer before college.
Right.
Really though, I didn't want to touch anybody's damn feet.
No, who's gonna do any feet? You know what I mean? Who's gonna? I don't want to wash nobody's feet. You know what the hell is that? I don't want to wash my own feet.
Kim Pham introduced me to salon owner Kelvin St. Pham. My name's ADELE Pham.
What?
For Vietnamese Americans, it really is just 1 degree at the nail salon.
I got into the nail industry again, like a lot of people, by accident. I started my family young. At that time, I got laid off as a technical engineer. However, if you have a baby on the way and you don't have a job, things happen. I haven't looked back since then. And this is going on for over 20 years now.
Yeah. So Jesus Christ was the first recorded pedicure in history. So Bob, is it good enough for Jesus Christ? Is it good enough for you? Huh, Bob? Huh?
Can't deny his word.
You can't deny his word.
I must follow.
That's right.
I have to do pedicure for the rest of my life.
That's right. You have to carry that cross. Don't forget to carry your cross too, bro, while you're doing the pedicure.
Nails sure has come a long way since Jesus' time.
Okay, let's get back to our conversation. Sorry about that, Adele. I was just trying to let people finish the sound clip about you.
That's the intro of the film right now. We're in post-production, and you guys know Kelvin St. Pham, right?
Yes.
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 He
Love Kelvin.
He's awesome.
You guys gotta have him on too.
Yeah, we got to. We should have.
You got to.
Kelvin. Yeah, I love Kelvin. Kelvin has done a lot. He's awesome.
Right. So Kelvin's done a lot, and I know you probably have an order for how you want to do these questions, but he was really my entry into the story because he is so friendly and inviting, and he knows everybody. He knows all the Vietnamese people who do nails.
And he's everywhere. Every show I go to, he's there. Turn around, he's there. You know, everywhere.
Yeah.
Kevin,
so I don't know.
So in Minnesota, so what happened? Were you there? Were you here long?
I was there, when the police shot that guy. What's his name? I was there right when, they having all those riots. Well, they didn't have riots there, but it ended up, in Texas when those cops got shot.
Yeah.
It started from Castillo, right? Like that Minnesota man getting shot with his wife and girlfriend. I just happened to be there at the same time, and so, anyways, I was presenting the film for this Vietnamese adoptee camp, but I think they were a little too young to really be asking the kinds of cultural questions that I think that the film asks and shows, about why Vietnamese started doing nails, why it's important to Vietnamese culture, and what Vietnamese American culture is all about, because nobody's really made a film about that yet. It's always has something to do with the war, which Nails does, but it's kind of also the second chapter. All right, so after you have to leave Vietnam and start all over again, what do? And so many people entered the nail salon industry, and I always wondered why. And, that was a big reason why I started researching this film and how I met Kelvin.
Yeah,
who has the same last name as me.
Yeah, right. Kelvin, I remember Kelvin said that Jesus Christ was the first recorded pedicure. Come on. So he's I love Kelvin. I love him. He's a great brother to me. He supports me in many things. But getting back to let me ask you real quick, Adele. tell me a little bit about your background. You know, where you was born, how you was raised, your family. Just to tell me and share with our viewers as well as well. Just a little bit about yourself and your background.
Right. So I was born in 1982 in Portland, Oregon. My father is from Da Nang, Vietnam, and my mom is from New Jersey. And they met in Portland, Oregon. So that's a bit of a unique coupling to have a Vietnamese refugee father and a white mother. And yeah, so that's where I was born and raised. And when I was graduating from high school, my dad, sensing that I wasn't going to become a pharmacist, really wanted me to go into the nail industry because we also had relatives in Tacoma, Washington, who I don't know that well, who were making a lot of money doing the whole mall nail salon thing. You know?
The mall nail salon?
You know, when you open inside the mall, like before Regal nails, right? You know how Regal nails are?
Right.
Yeah, I remember. What was that nail?
That was the 90s.
Lee Nails was the one who dominated in the 90s.
Oh yeah? I don't know that story.
Yes. Who doesn't know Regal Nails?
No,
Regal Nails. I thought you said Lee Nails. Not the press on, no? Oh, okay.
No, before Regal Nails, there was Lee Nails, Lee, Lee Nails back in the 90s. They dominated, to me, a lot of the inside the mall. There were so many Lee Nails inside the malls, and they dominated the market for inside of the like regular malls. And then who doesn't know Regal Nails? Regal Nails came along and dominated the Walmarts and so forth. So share us a little about Parallel ADELE. I know Parallel ADELE was both. Your name was ADELE, and also I think your co-producer was named ADELE as well.
Right, and so she's half Vietnamese too, but her mom is from Vietnam. So it's a parallel story, and we met each other when we were both going to Vietnam because we wanted to make documentaries about our family history there. So that was actually, I didn't meet her in Vietnam, but I asked her for a favor before I went to Vietnam, and that was the first time I went back in like 2005 was the first time I went back, and I didn't go back again for like 10 years, and now I go back a lot now that I think about it. I think I've been back 3 times in the past 2 years, I think.
Okay.
Wow. Jade, how many times have you been to Vietnam?
I came here for 13 years, and I've been back only 1 year, last August.
Okay, what was that like? That must have been kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's very crazy there now. Is the traffic, the pollution, the people. It's just too much for me. Like, even though I was born and raised there, until I was 17 that I came to US, but I still didn't get used to the lifestyle there, even though I just, like when I came back last August, it was crazy.
Yeah. Well,
it's hot, of course.
Right? Could always be hotter.
I've only been back to Vietnam one time. I've never been back to Vietnam at all, not even one time.
Well, I bet they'll send you now, because who are you, who are you working with now? They'll send you to Vietnam, because now, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know right now. Vietnam's a big thing for me. I've had to go to Hawaii.
Right.
You're not going to deal with the emotional aspect of it. It's just a whole other podcast, family things. But anyways, I've been back to Vietnam a few times. I don't know why that's happening. It's because my phone is taped to my screen. But I've been back to Vietnam, and I have filmed there twice for Nailed It. So, I've been working on this film for a while. I have a ton of footage from multiple continents. I filmed that global nail cup in Korea as well. So although the film doesn't focus on, the whole global Vietnamese diaspora, I like to show that in there. Like, wherever you go, Vietnamese people do nails.
Right.
Everywhere.
Right.
And I think that started in California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We really, really want to listen to the story. But the next question is, what sparked you start in the film industry, and why did you decide to do a documentary on Hashtag noted Vietnamese and the nail industry.
Well, I think, I grew up next to a movie theater that showed second run movies, where you can go and see it for a discount price. So I
99 cents.
Right, that sort of like I used to be able to see double features for $2. I'm telling you, like, unbelievable, right? So when I was growing up, I used to babysit the kids in the neighborhood too, and I would just take them to the movies, and we would just all be going to the movies. So the first real documentary I ever saw was when I was like 11 or 12 in that theater. And I'm not talking about news documentary. I'm talking about like a documentary that told somebody's story. It's called Crumb. It's about an artist. And that was the first inkling where I was like, yeah, I really like this narrative approach, like telling a real life story that nobody would know about unless the filmmaker went out there and found the story. So, in a lot of my films, I think I tell unique stories that have a very different kind of point of view. And that's what I like about Nailed It. It isn't like an outside culture looking in and, for example, saying, I feel like a lot of outside cultures only tell it from the Tippi Hedren perspective. And although I think that we owe her a great debt of gratitude, the story is so much bigger than that, and it really kind of shows the Vietnamese American character in the film, right? Because it shows like how families support each other. And, we haven't even gotten into how much money has been sent back home to Vietnam through the nail salons, to support family, and then like bringing family over through the nail salons. And these are all things that I really didn't know about until I started researching about the Vietnamese salon industry.
Who was involved in this project doing Nailed It Vietnamese in the Nail Industry? Who was involved in this project and this process with you?
Well, definitely Kim PHAM from
Kim.
Salon Kim. Everybody knows Kim.
Love Kim.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Kim.
We love Kim.
We love Kim. Well, she's the one who actually told me the Tippi Hedren story. And me being in film and knowing who Tippi Hedren is, she's like a screen legend, and I thought that story was amazing. And then she's the one that hooked me up with Mike Vo, who was Charlie Vo's son, Sation. I don't know how many people grew up with Sation, but
Sation. I remember Sation.
Right. So and actually, his mom, Charlie, who was the person who helped Charlie out with Charlie Tone out with Regal Nails when he first started.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Station dominated the polish. Station polish, it dominated the night. I mean, you couldn't find a Station polish if you was in every single nail salon, Vietnamese nail salon. I can guarantee you, they have champagne, they have cotton candy, Station polish. I promise you, every single nail salon has Station.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a story that we're bringing out in Nailed It. That's an amazing story. So I meet Mike, right? And I say to Mike, Vo, I'm like, this is New York out here in the background. That's the sirens. I said to Mike, I just really want to know how Black people started getting their nails, Black women started getting their nails done. I'm just really curious about how that salon got to Black neighborhoods. And he was like, well, the funny thing is my mom's business partner is a Black lady. And then here we go, Mantrap. And Kelvin has a connection to Mantrap. Like, that's how his family got started in nails, but he didn't even know about all of it. So...
Totally Black.
Sorry, yeah. I don't know. The audience can't see, but I literally have my phone taped. Can you hear me though?
I can hear you. I love it.
I'm sweating too. I'm gonna turn this AC on. Oh my god, I'm trying to have good sound. But anyways, the Mantrap story that I tell in Nailed It, to me, is really the heart of the story, and it backs up the Tippi Hedren story, and it reveals how certain American people really, really helped us out, and I like to highlight that multiculturalism in all of my projects, because I'm a multicultural person, you know, so I think it just naturally comes out, and so I'm always looking for that cross-cultural story, and that's how I found that.
That's awesome.
You know, the man trap. I meant to have the.
Oh, that's cute.
Right?
Like
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna have one too.
Yeah, exactly. I meant to have the for sale link up.
That's good. Whatever you.
But
said,
you know, so if you watch the whole 10-minute thing, it gives you a deeper look at what it is. But in the hour-long film, feature film, which it will be, it really tells you the story of Charlie and Olivet, how they met and how they grew this business that so many Vietnamese people copied. You know?
Okay.
The small mom and pop salon thing. And, you know, they didn't trademark it or anything. The salons just kind of went into the hands of trusted family people who wanted to take over the man trap or whatever. And then, you know how Vietnamese people do, like you jump in, you learn the nail salon industry from whatever relative you're working with, and then you spring out and you open your own nail salon, right?
Yeah, so
for better or for worse.
So what was the original storyline you were looking for with this film?
You know, I think like I was always sort of embarrassed getting my nails done because I don't speak Vietnamese, you know? And then it being such a service industry too, like you're being serviced, like it sort of made me uncomfortable to be serviced by Vietnamese women in a way. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's some embarrassment because I don't speak Vietnamese, really. And so I think I had this very white perspective of what a nail salon is, you know, that the sort of New York Times perspective that people are being poisoned or there's some kind of, you know, nefarious things going on in there. And I wanted to find that sort of victim hero story because I heard that nail techs were organizing and getting together in California and stuff, but that's not actually the story I found. Like, I found Kelvin, who introduced me to Co Tuan Le, who was one of the first 20 Vietnamese nail techs.
Yeah. Your phone is slipping again, sister.
That is bro. I'm gonna take a picture with. Well, I can't because my camera is my phone. You know but you need to see what the hell is going on here. It's so hilarious.
I want to commend you. I want to commend you. I said that's some dedication right there, sister. That's some dedication.
Right.
Well, you know what? It gave me a whole new appreciation. Oh, for the phone. Oh yeah, I thought you meant documentaries, which are dedication. But what's interesting is that I think that the film really changed me in my own perspective. You know, so of course. I hope we talk about health-related things, you know, because things could be better, but it's not. Well, what's going on in the nail salon is not really what people think is going on, I don't think.
Well, what you can do is hold that phone. You can hold that phone, it doesn't move. There you go.
But then my arm's going to get tired now. Sideways. It's good. I'm just going to keep putting tape up. I'm going to keep taping it. And
so if you're concerned about not understanding the language barrier, I know I've seen it online and I've seen it, I guess, cross-reference ad, that there's going to be like a little tool that you're able to put inside your ear, and when the person is speaking, right, it's supposed to translate.
Translate it, yes.
So, right, yeah, so I've seen that. So that would be an awesome tool, so the language barrier.
See, Dad, I knew I didn't need to go to Saturday school. I knew I didn't need to go to language school.
So during this documentary that you've done, let's just say, what have you learned about the nail community that was back then and about now? I know you mentioned Go Tuan Le, and Go Tuan is a great person. I met her, I talked to her, she's an inspiration. I love Go Tuan. Go Tuan always told me, I remember, and I always say that Go Tuan told me to do what you love and the green will come. Go Tuan has told me that, and I've kept that in my heart. And she's such an inspiration. I love Go Tuan.
I love her.
So yeah, so share a little bit, you know, what you learned about the nail community back then and then now.
Just that Vietnamese people are about family, you know, and it's not always all good, but that's how we survived. Mm-hmm. So You know, Cotuan is somebody, she was one of the message bearers. You know, I think people kind of looked up to her when they came to the U.S. and looked at these women for anything to do. And also, you know, Tom Nguyen's father, the nail school comes into it. I'm not going to get into the nail school either, the Vietnamese language nail school, but everything relates back, which is interesting, to a small group of people. And that's a metaphor for what the Vietnamese salon nail industry is, because everywhere Vietnamese people go, wind up, immigrate to, they do nails as a way to survive and thrive.
I mean, the nail industry is amazing. I love the nail industry, you know, looking back now. And what about now? Present time. I mean, 2020 is hindsight.
Well, you know
2020
what?
is hindsight.
Exactly. Like, are Vietnamese people still running the nail industry like they did? Are there the same number of Vietnamese people going into nails as there were in the 90s? No. But we still, I think we dominate the Asian market everywhere besides 15 miles in Manhattan, where Chinese and Koreans dominate, you know. So
your phone, sister. Your
so
phone.
what so, you know, there's a lot of smart professionals who are able to get higher education through their family's nail salons, through their parents' hard work. So what do they owe the nail industry? Now, the flip side of that is I think a lot of second generation people might resent the nail industry because they didn't get to spend the time with the parents that they wanted, or this and that, you know, or they're just associated with drudgery or something like that. But, you know, I think we're at a breaking point with nails. And there needs to be some kind of tech health innovation. And I think that might be the next moneymaker, you know, the thing that really purifies the air. So, you know, you don't have to worry about all the health risks that go along with nail work, because it definitely exists.
Right. We discussed about that in a few, you know, previous topics already, about the ventilation system that, you know, can help keep, you know, the nail techs and the client's health. What do you want non-Asian general public to take away from your film?
That it's always been about family, and it's always been about innovation and hard work, you know. And I really want people to see the multicultural history behind nails, because it didn't come out of a vacuum. It didn't come out of a vacuum. We didn't come up with it all by ourselves. I know some people are still going to say that, but, you know, I think it was a collaboration of a lot of people not even knowing that they were collaborating on something. And how Vietnamese people are, they're so industrious, like they just run with it, you know? And now Asians are the standard. Like, if you're not getting your nails done by an Asian, there's something wrong. Not across the board, but it's like, you know,
we as a community, though, I mean, Asian community or the nail community as well, we have to raise the bar. You know, we have to raise the bar, and we have to evolve. We have, you know, so many times that, you know, at the price wars, and you understand about sanitation and health and regulation. Now we're talking about purifying our air, and then we, as the, you know, the new generations, and we need to get this message out. And I want to touch base that it's the importance of Vietnam Talk Radio is to bring these ideas and knowledge and science-based facts to our viewers. So definitely, as if you said that we do dominate the community, like 80% of the market, if I'm not mistaken, right? Then we also need to be able to raise the bar, raise the standards.
Yeah, ahead of the game about everything. You know, we need to keep ourselves up to date with the health, safety, sanitation, and follow the laws and rules. Or sometimes you can exceed the standard. That would be great.
Exceed, like, have that be the new standard, exceeding it, and taking control of the narrative, so nobody can say, oh, Vietnamese nail salons are dirty, because, oh, we're already on that. I mean, there's so many smart Vietnamese people, science-based people, engineers, scientists. I mean, there's a lot that could be done to improve the air quality in the salon.
Yeah,
that's my main concern. I'm not even concerned about the clients, because they're in and out, you know. Of course, I want them to have a pleasant time, but it's really the health of the nail tech, the person that's overworking inside the nail salon, which a lot of immigrants do.
Well,
So
I
the
mean, I
Safe
totally agree
Salon
with you.
rating slogan is don't just meet the standards, exceed the state standards. So there's I think I just want to mention about this website, Medinails, Medinails, right? Medinail.com or Medinails.com. It has a few courses for all the licensed nail technicians to take and actually have more information how to exceed the state standards. So if you're interested, Adele, we can always forward that website
Yeah,
to
I
you.
love that.
Check
I
it
love
out.
that.
I am
Yeah, and
actually taking a course, doing all my homework right now in that website. And Tan, he's doing the same thing. And
I'm also taking a.
yeah, we can't wait to share that to
So
everyone.
what are you learning about? Like the air filters and stuff? The air filter to put into your,
It's like
you know.
we go in depth about health, safety, sanitation, how to recognize the nail disease. I mean, we're not a doctor, but at least we can recognize the symptoms.
Yeah.
And then,
Infection
refer,
control.
yeah, and then refer the clients to the physician, to a podiatrist. You know what I
Get
mean?
some help.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Vietnamese people out there, they just,
Yeah, quiet. I know.
don't care and
Yeah.
just work on any feet, any kind of like feet that enhance that have disease and infection and everything like that. So
Do you think that's as big as a problem as they say it is with the infectious stuff? Do you think it's as big as they say it is?
Infection control is the biggest thing
Yes.
that we need to care about now.
It's so important. It's so important. In that course, it's such an. I'm just gonna give a little tidbit. I don't want to touch too much base on Medinails, MNANT. Medical Advanced Nail Technology course. I don't want to touch base too much about it, but I can say this, that it is such an eye opener, and I want to recommend that every nail professional out there should take this course. It's such an eye opener. It tells you about infection control, how to sterilize, the difference between sanitation and the difference between sterilization, and the difference between recognizing should I even practice on this person or should I not practice this on, and remaining in your scope of practice. That's very important. A lot of nail pros don't understand that you have to practice within the scope of our practice, and being able to not only meet state standards, but let's take it up a notch and exceed the state standards.
And in there, Medinails also has the course that help you to market your salon. It's pretty good. I can't say much because I want you guys to get in, sign up, and take the course, yourself, and you will learn so much more about it.
It's a great course. I don't want to touch too much base, but it is important, and it is the key to increasing your profits and learning more. It's about education and raising the bar for yourself. Like you said, if the Asian community is raising the standards, if we're leading the way, we need to raise our standards. And raising your standards, we have to touch back to get more education.
Yeah.
But getting back to the original of our process and our topic tonight, is what was the original storyline that you were looking for with this nail lit doc film?
I guess I was looking for a character, an immigrant Vietnamese woman who was sort of trying to do what you're saying now. Maybe had a health problem and was trying to change the salon industry. I didn't find that really, I did find California Healthy Nail Salon Collaborative, and they're doing things in Oakland with salon owners that I think are good in terms of just raising general standards. What I really found is a Vietnamese American story, day two, what we did after we got here, and to me that was more important. So of course there's these problems that we need to fix, and of course the industry is always going to be changing and needs to be improved, but just really documenting and appreciating how much the industry has done for Vietnamese people as part of it, but how much we've done for ourselves keeping the family together. I mean, how many hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars have been sent back to Vietnam through the nail salon? and bringing family members over. It's really like just a surprising, fascinating mechanism. And then, like I said, everywhere you go, Germany, England, France, Vietnamese people doing nails, Czech Republic, everywhere. What Charlie said, the only place they're not in is Africa. Mary Negron is in Africa. She's in Nigeria.
Maybe I should go to Africa. And
I know, right? We should partner up.
Well, we can talk about that after, because definitely.
So basically, what you say is
before the Chinese do it, because you already know they're good.
Oh, by the time we're talking right now, they're already there.
They're already there doing it.
How crazy it is! They're everywhere, you know. Okay, so what industry myths did you bust in your research for the film Nailed It doc?
Right. I mean, it's like I am compromised because I love the story and I love my people, you know. And I just didn't see all the horror stories that you see on TV. I didn't see the fights. I saw like loving relationships. Like Kelvin, he's not really doing nails right now, but he has relationships that go like 20, 30 years deep. Olivet and Charlie, Cotuan the first 20, and Tippi Hedren. Like, these are stories about people helping each other out, you know, and staying friends for decades. And, you know, people need to hear good stories like that too sometimes. So this isn't some expose where I'm busting the Vietnamese nail salon.
Stereotype.
Right. It like breaks the stereotype, and it broke my stereotype as a Vietnamese person that, you know, just sort of felt uncomfortable with the nail salon. Like, now I just flow right in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelvin, he's so deep rooted. Kelvin is really deep rooted in the industry, and I love Kelvin. I love him.
He's so motivated, and
he's very motivated. But during this Nailed It document, right? During this Nailed It document that you've done, and since we was on the topic of speaking about health related issues with Made in Nail Spa, I mean, what did you learn? What did you learn about being in doing this documentary?
That there's never been a long-term study on the health of nail salon workers, and that's almost criminal. You know, they get away with it because we are minorities. And listen, there's a bigger thing at work than you know, shady Asian salons. Like, there's companies that want the chemicals, the most harmful stuff, to stay in the products, right? Because even in Europe, the chemicals that they use in their nail products are different than what we have here. So, I mean, there just kind of needs to be an overhaul, but it's not going to happen from the outside. It has to come from Vietnamese people caring about their own health, you know, and their own health. That's it, you know. So it could start from improving the health standards for your clients, and then realizing, oh yeah, like, I'm the one that's in here all day. You know, like, I gotta open the door, I gotta change the filter in the thing, there's this other product called Purity. I'm looking for a test salon in New York to try it out, where they coat the window with a substance that changes the molecular structure of the volatile organic chemicals in, you know, like the harshest products, the MMA, the EMA, whatever. So Boston is the only city I've seen that's done any kind of dedicated study on the air quality of Asian salons.
Up in Boston only.
In Boston.
I think New York is getting there too. New York and New Jersey is also coming to making also raising the standards, I think, right?
Well, the thing is, it was just totally deregulated before, so it's like you're going from 0 to 100. Like, these people don't even know that, they didn't even know that Vietnamese salons existed. I'm like, how do you not even know that? Because they all look the same to them on a certain level. And in New York, within Manhattan, not talking about Harlem, the Bronx, or other parts of Brooklyn, it is a Korean and Chinese dominated industry. In terms, you know,
there?
Yeah, it's different. It's different than Texas. I mean, I just got my nails done by my Vietnamese friend, Kim, who you probably know. And, you know, her family's had a salon in Harlem for 25 years. So they've been there, but they're just sort of like in the shadows because they don't really like to compete with other Asians. So they'll go to different places, especially after 9/11. It's just like hard to live in New York, you know? So you don't see the same Vietnamese monopoly that you even see where Joseph lives, I'm assuming, in upstate New York. Do you know what I mean? It's just slightly different, because where else in the country do you see Koreans running the nail industry? I'm not talking about Korea, but like in the States, other than New York.
And
Other than New York.
Chinese
it's
and
more,
Korean, right?
Well, it's more saturated. It's more saturated with I guess let me say Chinese and Korean immigrants. Is more saturated in New York and New Jersey and in let me say in the East. Northeast.
Yeah.
So it's more dominant, and then you have California, which is like predominantly Vietnamese, and then of course you have Texas. Texas is predominantly Vietnamese, and then you have Florida, and you have other states, and they're really diverse. But Florida has, if you go to southern Florida, then there's more like Cubans and Hispanics that is running it, right? So
that's a whole other thing, yeah.
Right.
So it's just where the demographics are. But at the end of the day, we know that the Vietnamese community are dominating, but are we continuing dominating, and are we able to raise the bar? We have, if we are dominating, like I touched base, then we need to raise the bar. We need to raise the bar on health and how to take care of ourselves. Do purity, like you said, you're doing the research on purity window treatments. I mean, there's AirVec systems out there that is going to help with your 3 breathing zone. You know, your breathing zone, your root zone, and your breathing. So there are things that we have to be able to set that bar. Okay, so you mentioned you mentioned advanced research in your pre-interview. So I wasn't there at the pre-interview. So share that a little bit with me and Tuan as well as our viewers here.
I mean, there's just so many Vietnamese in medical. Like, why aren't we researching our own people? Why aren't we doing the air capture in these places? There is a way to make money off of that too. I don't know exactly what it is, but it just hasn't quite caught on. But I really appreciate what you guys do, like making 3-zone breathing, whatever you call it, like a talking point, like a regular thing that Vietnamese people speaking Vietnamese are talking about, you know? Because Vietnamese people are logical. Like, it can't be good to be in a salon all day long inhaling the chemicals. It just can't be good. Right?
That's right.
So we need, like, more smart second generation scientist types to get on board with this, and not, you know, I think times are really changing. Like, there isn't as much shame in being different anymore. So just like really embrace what the nail salon industry has done for your family and take it to a new level and have fun with it. And like Kotuan said, the green will follow, you know, like try, do something new. Everything else has already been done in a way, you know, in terms of like making a lot of money. So now it's time to just look at all the facts that are out there. And there are no facts out there because people have never been studied long-term before, you know?
Right. Just have to invest into advanced education and, you know, educate yourself more. Just like our, you know...
and you'll make money that way too,
yes.
You know?
So what do you want to see change in relations to the healthy aspect?
Just for that to be a concern, not just for us second generation people, but you know, the older people that you see doing nails. And it's also just mental health too, because I've had young people email me before like, oh, in your film, are you showing how Vietnamese parents don't spend any time with their kids? They just work in the salon all the time, because that's what happened when I was growing up and I never had any time with my mom or dad, which is really sad. You know, cause there's something about, right? So that's stuff that I didn't even really get to in the film. It kind of comes up, you know, in passing, but, you know, I think there's something about the crisis of being a refugee and being an immigrant and feeling like all you have is work, you know, but, and the pressure is just getting harder and stronger with gentrification and just the prices, like, back in the day, I feel like you could open up a salon for $5,000 almost, you know? Like, you can't really do that anymore, and it's also not a cash industry anymore. So it's already harder to make a profit off of it.
You have to have a new kind of concept somehow that, you know, is totally different. But like you mentioned earlier, we have to focus on the health, the safety of the patient. That's the new thing, that where the money is at.
Right.
We need to focus on that, right?
All right.
Ahead of the
Take a
curve.
break. Let's go ahead and take a break from a word from our sponsors, because we were speaking of AirRex earlier. Let's take a break and listen to our sponsors.
We'll be right back.
All right, folks. Thank you for staying with us as we run through our sponsors. Adele, are you still there? I think she lost video.
There she is.
There you go. Welcome back, Adele. Getting back, touching base with you again here. Toi?
Yes.
Real quick, you can touch base with Adele.
Okay. There has never been a long-term study to prove that the chemicals we use actually create cancers, but there are many claims. What your take on this?
Well, I actually want to talk to you guys about that because you are actually in the salons. So what I have found is sometimes somebody will kind of tell me something, and I do have a few interviews, but people don't really want to talk about it. So I don't know, what have you observed with older Vietnamese people you know who have been doing nails for 20, 30 years, or miscarriage, or stuff like that?
Well, with us, we know a lot of stuff. We just want to hear from you.
That's why there needs to be a long-term study, because it's so easy to say, oh, there's no studies that prove any of this stuff. Well, if there's never been a long-term study, then of course there is no study to prove any of this stuff. It's all like, kind of colloquial wisdom, just oral history stuff. You're like, oh yeah, I notice all of my older friends getting all kinds of breathing conditions or whatever it is, because I just hear conflicting information, so I don't feel like it's appropriate for me to say exactly what's going on. But for miscarriage, for example, like if you're heavily pregnant, you shouldn't be working 10 hours a day, and you shouldn't be squatting down doing someone's feet either. And I just feel like, on top of the chemicals, and I just feel like sometimes Vietnamese women work themselves to the bone, and they don't put a precedence on their own health. It's like everybody else.
Adele, we actually need you to transfer this message to the Vietnam community with your documentary, because health issue is health is a big issue right now in the nail salons, and we need every single nail salon out there to know what is important for them now. Not about the money anymore, but about their health. It's about their children, the children's future. Yeah, we definitely need to, send this message out there. And hopefully Vietnam Talk Radio, and with your interview today, with your story, that can help them to realize something and start to question themselves and contact us, contact you or anyone. learn more about that.
Speaking of how you talked about being pregnant and being in the nails salon and the health benefits and no benefits or the risk of it or whatever, I truly believe there is a risk because studies have shown that, if you put a patch on of like for nicotine and you're trying to wean off of it, that's just exposure to your skin. There's no blood transfusion, there's no cuts, no nothing. Just so if those chemicals that you're working with on a daily basis and you're pregnant, of course it's going to be like, what do you call it, what's that keyword, transdermal, so it does happen. So studies have shown if you're smoking before, they said it was safe to smoke. They said it was safe to smoke and being pregnant. Come on, we all know over years of studies that smoking and being pregnant is a no-no. Right? So we need to be able to raise awareness and create a study group for the next 20 years. If what Go Tuong and the first 20 has done for the industry, that's hindsight. That's a long time ago. It's done. We are the new one. We are the new generation. We need to be able to raise awareness for the next 20 years. So in time, we should be able to do that. Lisa Ann, I remember reading Lisa Ann Bow's book. It's called Nail Care Nightmares, and I read that. And some of the stuff she wrote in there, it's so. I think it's an eye opener.
Yeah, a lot of crazy stories. Yeah, that so we learned.
If we were to able to study like ventilation, for example, we need to study ventilation. If every salon agreed to, we have the ventilation in their system, taking care of themselves, and then maybe that would help. Using the right monomers and liquids and being exposed to different chemicals. We should be the one doing that research long term for the next generation, and overexposure to different chemicals. We should be the study.
Look at the dry cleaning industry with the Koreans before us, right? So it's similar in that those chemicals, those harsh ass chemicals they used to dry clean the clothes, it did have an effect on people. It's just that nobody's gonna study it for us. I agree with you 100%.
Right.
So in order to take control of the narrative, you have to take control of the science, and it's not so crazy. I mean, Vietnamese people are so smart. The smartest kids in your science and math class are always Vietnamese kids. So it's like, make the nail salon cool now. I don't know.
Yes.
I think we just need to raise awareness and get those scientists out there and touch base with the right people. And I believe if we have the right leaders, we're able to do that. We're able to start that study. So definitely, I agree with you on that.
Every time we go to the beauty shows, and if we see any Vietnamese, like our people, nail technicians, just send out a message. Hey, here is our Vietnam Talk Radio, and here's some information. Feel free to check it out. Most of the time, those older generation, they don't have that kind of, how do you say, the connection to connect to, our generation and information like this, like social media. They don't know anything about it. So we have to actually go and talk to them in person. If we see anyone, just have to send the message, verbally. You cannot just tell them to go to this website, that website. They don't know. And
they're working all the time. They're in the salon all the time.
Yes, exactly. So our younger generation, we okay now. We Facebook, we're Facebooking, Instagramming.
We're doing pretty good. Vietnamese people are doing pretty good, I feel like.
You see how that holographic and chrome is in 1 month. Oh my goodness. Everywhere.
As much as gold? I don't know. I was tripping out when you were talking about that.
Oh yeah.
It's more than gold.
The price is ridiculous. Yeah. Next time you see me, I will be grinding my gold and apply your
gold nail. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So, just monetizing the health aspect. Whoever can figure out how to do that is probably going to save everybody. And not in a negative way, not in a way of technology that doesn't work, for example. But I do think Aerovex does work, and they're one of your sponsors. So if they wanted to do a test salon with me and figure out a test salon, I have the proposal ready to go.
That's awesome. They
I want to be
they would want to work.
We're all trying to get into
want to work it out with you.
Well, we'll talk to each other after the show. I have quite a few ideas, but it's like getting the old school Vietnamese people to trust you. I don't speak Vietnamese. I don't necessarily look Vietnamese until I tell you that I'm Vietnamese. You guys are already in the salon. Like when you guys do the demos and the shows, they're running up to you and talking. So it's like the people that are already with the older generation need to expose them to the better technologies.
Okay, we will make that connection with Aravex and make sure that we, have you and Aravex connect to make that happen.
Sounds good.
Sure. Oh, sure. Right after the show. Okay, so what's the difference between Vietnamese salon workers and other Asian nail salon workers?
Well, I mean, New York's a really interesting microcosm for that because, like I said before, it's the only place in the country where Vietnamese don't dominate the Asian market, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what I've noticed, although I don't think Korean and Chinese nail salons are as nefarious as the New York Times made them out to be, you've noticed what happened to the Korean community. It's kind of what's happening to the Vietnamese community. We're graduating out of nails. So with the Korean community, you will see owners and managers who are Korean, but then they'll be managing a salon of a whole other different ethnicity, right? So that's something that the New York Times expose on the nail salons expressed. So, I mean, that's kind of where we're heading because second generation people, I mean, are they really going into nails? Third generation Vietnamese people, are they really going into nails? I don't know.
We don't know yet.
I think they will.
Okay. See, and that's the thing. That's the difference because with Vietnamese, it's family. It's always been like a family business, and it's a little bit different with the Korean and Chinese nail salons. I think I could be wrong because I don't know,
I suggest hopefully we can.
We did a few interview with the third generation, and most of the answers are no. So, like with Tan and I, we're like 50-50. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you guys are
right,
second generation. I mean,
you guys are
second generation, yeah.
Right.
I can tell you right now. I believe there will be a third generation, just like the millennial. The millennial will be the next generation, so they'll set their standards. I think I was born to do nails. I'm born into this industry. That's how I feel about it. You're chosen. God gave this gift to me to be in the nail industry, just like He's given the Vietnamese community. This is what God decided for the Vietnamese community, and this is what you guys are going to do. And you can see that Vietnamese community are raising the bar. You can see the salons, they're getting more and more better. They're learning more technology. They're raising the stand. It used to be like Tam Nguyen from ABC. He told about how a few interviews ago he talked about it was a race to the bottom. Now it's a race to the top to see who has the highest prices.
That's right.
We as a community need to make that very, very clear that yes, we should be racing to the top. Hey, I'm doing this price too. You should try to outdo me. So then we're raising the bar. So definitely, yes, I agree that if you're saying no to the third generation, the millennial, that they're not gonna do the nail industry, I don't think that's true. My daughter, she's an RN now, but she also wants to go.
How old are you?
I know.
But she's also wanting to do nails as well. So I think they learn by watching, and if you do things with passion, it's a no-brainer. It's a winner. But I'm asking you, what do you think about the Vietnamese nail community? Should they embrace, in order to elevate the nail industry? How do you feel about it, and what do you think about the Vietnamese nail community?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they just need to find a new passion in it, and I think that is like a race to the top, like you said. And in these changing economic times, it's always been a cornerstone for us. So you see people coming back to the nail industry, like they might be an RN and be like, you know what, I really just like sitting with people I like the artistic aspect of it, and they go into nails. I see stuff like that, and this is a career that helped our people when they had nothing. Like Cotuan and the other 20, they were privileged in Vietnam. That's something that maybe hasn't been talked about before. But they restricted that privilege, and then they were just kind of stuck here, and nobody really wanted them there. But Tippy showed them some kindness, and Tippy had no idea what this was going to turn into, but they were the first Vietnamese women with jobs in America, when you think about it, because they were licensed and working in salons in 1976, maybe even 1975. So, you know, give it up to the history. It's a really super interesting history, and like, be curious about it. Don't just say, I don't know, like, it's so funny because Vietnamese people are so smart, but then they can be so incurious about certain things. And we're such artistic people, and then showing that, like, not enough respect, you know? So it's always been like a stepping stone for us, but it's also a cornerstone that people come back to. So just changing the dynamic and working intergenerationally. So the third generation coming in and helping the first generation do it better, relate to the clients more, and being a little more multicultural than Vietnamese people usually are, you know, like, you know, mostly I've seen Vietnamese people get along with their clients, but take it back to a man trap thing where, you know, this black lady and this Vietnamese refugee came together and made a really happening salon. Like, start bridging gaps instead of always being separate from the people that you serve.
So Adele, you mentioned earlier that you've been traveling and capture a lot of like footages about different culture, different places. So how can we see your documentary, the naileditdoc.com?
Well, I'm still in post-production with the documentary, but if you go to naileditdoc.com, you can watch the extended 10-minute trailer, and you know, we're really in a good place right now. We are still fundraising for post-production, you know, because I want to get this out soon. I don't want to hold on to it too much longer, because I really think that the Vietnamese community needs something to jumpstart the new generation of nails, you know, like doing it in a new kind of way. So, you know, Kelvin, I don't know if I should talk about this or not, but I'm about to film something with Kelvin where we show like the second generation of Vietnamese nail techs taking it in a new direction, right? Because it's such an amazing history, but we need to top it off with something that's as big as Tippy and Cotuan. And as big as Mantrap, like, we need to do something. I'm just trying to inspire somebody to, like, jump in there and, like, be the new wave of the Vietnamese nail salon.
So how, if we want to donate monetary to this project, and where will we go, and how will we be able to even help donate towards this project? We, as a community, our viewers here at Nail Talk Radio,
I know they want to help.
You know, our leaders in the community. Where would we go to make this donation?
Well, you know,
this project?
Got so many things going on right now that I forgot to put the link up to where you can buy, you know, my T-shirts. But that's one way. But you can also just holler at me via email, because whatever donation you make is tax deductible. So especially as the new year comes around and you're trying to you know, make some charitable donations to write off on your taxes, I'll still be working on this film, bringing it to fruition, because it costs a lot of money to get the sound mix together and the color correction together and the score, and I just want to get it out there as soon as possible. So if you really would like to donate, or just figure out how you could support, you could email me at adeleppham@gmail.com, ADELEPHAM@gmail.com, and you can also find my contact information on the Nailed It Doc site, naileditdoc.com.
We will buy some for our teams. Yeah.
And I'm gonna have those T-shirt links up soon. So I meant to have them up today, but
that's awesome! Yay!
Adele, again, I want to thank you for your time, for carving time out tonight with us, and sharing your perspective on how the industry has evolved. And from what I take it, it's a great project that you're doing. and keep on doing. Let us know how else we can help you, and definitely we would love to have you back on the show again. How do you feel about that, coming back on our show?
Love it, love it. You know, next time let's be highlighting this new technology that's really improving the air quality of the salon. That would be awesome.
That's good.
All right, Tal, you have any last closing words?
No, I just want to say thank you, Adele, for your time, and you're such a sweet person. And
Thank you, Chief.
I love what you do, and hopefully we can work it out someday.
Well, I love what you guys do too. You guys are really getting the word out and making it like normal talk, like air quality being normalized in salon talk. I really appreciate that.
How do you feel about Vietnam Talk Radio being the next platform?
Yes.
I think it is. I think it has to be. You know, it's the first thing I've really seen that's talked about health in a real kind of way, you know. So I really commend you guys for that too, and everything else, like the trends that are always coming, this and that. Like I really love to see you guys like doing your 50-50 English Vietnamese talk radio shows.
All right, we are the next. We are the next. And all right, guys, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, I want to thank Tual, my #1 co-host. Adele, thank you for carving time to come and do this broadcast with us tonight and connecting with our viewers as well. Guys, I want to thank everybody. And don't forget those 3 words I always leave you guys with. Don't forget to educate, to elevate, and always give back. Thank you, and have a great night. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay.